It is Thursday. No, it's not. It's Wednesday and I am in bed. Well, not in bed. I'm on bed. I've been at work all day. It is currently 8:30 in the evening. So I've done no crafting whatsoever because obviously it's been a work day. It's been quite a busy work day. And then I had a bath, hence the wet hair. Had to clean up for dinner and all of that kind of thing. Anyway, now it's 8:30. I'm getting into bed. I'm going to do some of my crochet hexagons and watch a bit of YouTube and then do a bit of reading, have a hot milk and a nice early night. Because for some reason, even though I slept well last night, I was absolutely pooped today. Not sure what's going on. Maybe there's something to do with the moon or something. I have no idea. However, it means it's not going to make for much of a vlog, and this is day 7 of 7. So I thought I'd start the vlog now on Wednesday, but film throughout tomorrow and edit as I go in the hope that I will get a video up tomorrow night. Although it's going to be tricky because I'm going out with my mum tomorrow morning. We're going for a bit of shopping and some lunch. Dad's got a hospital appointment, although I'm not sure I'm needed for that. And then we've got a meeting at Phoebe's school in the evening. Who knows if you'll be watching this on Thursday or Friday or at some point in the future. But there will be a day 7 of my weekly vlogs video. I shouldn't have started filming this the way I'm feeling. So I'm starting it now, but you're going to see a bit of making and then we're going to fade into Thursday. Good morning. It is Thursday. We have faded. We have faded through to the next day. It's now Thursday morning. It is 9:10. I'm just waiting for my mum to arrive. She says she's going to get here at 9:30, but she's always early. So I thought I'd do this introduction super quick before she comes through the door. I had a lovely time last night sitting with my hot milk, crocheting on my hexagons for my weekender blanket. I'll give you an update on those a bit later. And this morning I've been going through some of your comments. It's been so lovely. I'm so glad that you've enjoyed these vlogs. I just did them on such a whim, just because I felt like doing it and I felt like really absorbing myself in my making and making these vlogs and only focusing on the making parts of my day is a really good focus for me and really motivates me to build it into my day and make it a priority. So I'm so glad that you've enjoyed them. I might do a week of making vlogs again in the future if you would like that. It has been fun to do, and it has really worked in getting me to move on and get stuff done. So I thought there was a few questions, so I've put on my contains questions filter on YouTube Studio. I'm not sure how catch-all it is, but I thought I'd just go through and try to answer some of the questions before my mum arrives. So in no particular order, well, from the top down. It's carrots and cashews. What a great username. Sorry to ask a silly question. There are no silly questions. Of course there aren't, but I'm new. When you get those yarns in long skeins, do you have to wind it all into a ball before you use it? So with the Advent ones, do you have to do each individual one before you can knit or crochet with it? How do you do it? PS, love your videos, really inspiring me. Oh, thank you, carrots and cashews. Yes. So do I have some yarn near me? Of course I've got yarn near me. I've got my lovely bag that you often see in the background here, and I love it. I just love the colours. It's just my vibe. I love it. And in here I have got an Advent project, a long neglected one that I haven't shown in a while actually. This is my mini stripes wrap by Dana Ray Makes, and this is made using Advent minis from my Green Lumpkin Yarns Advent from the Christmas just gone. And I haven't shown it in a while because I haven't progressed it in a while. I've got other things that have been taking priority. I need to get that done. Already halfway through 2024, for goodness sake. So in here I've got one of the Advent yarns that's already coming apart. So they come in little skeins like that, and then when you unwrap it, it looks like that. So this is a 20-gram mini, but if you had a full skein of yarn, it would look the same, just bigger. And it will have 2 or 3 little ties on it. A couple of the ties will just be extra bits of yarn to hold it together, and one of those ties will be the ends of the yarn. So I always just snip the knot, because I have made the mistake before snipping further down and then accidentally snipping like a break in the yarn. So snip the knots, pull the ones that aren't attached off and release the ends. And then you can either put this around the top of a couple of chairs and pull it tight to wind into a ball by hand, or you can use a yarn swift, which I often do with larger skeins, and wind it by hand. Although I do now have a ball winder, or yeah, it's called a ball winder, but it winds your yarn into like cakes of yarn. I don't have a cake of yarn, strangely, nearby, which I often use now. Someone took pity on me and sent me a ball winder, and I've never looked back. But before then, and still sometimes now, I always wound by hand. And as you saw me doing the other day, I quite often will just hook it around my knees and do it whilst I'm doing the telly. This is going to be an extremely unflattering angle, but so yeah, just hook it around my knees like that, and go round and round and wind it into a ball by hand. That was very unflattering, but you've got a little view of my handmade top there. Not handmade by me. This was handmade for me by Patty. My jeans are in the wash. I have to wear leggings today, and this just goes really well with leggings. It's got toadstools on it and I love it. Thank you so much again, Patty, for this. It's a very, very, very clever lady. Right, let's pop that back. So yes, I hope that answers your question. But before I had a yarn swift, I just used my knees or the back of a couple of chairs and just wound it by hand. Rebecca, oh hello Rebecca, Rebecca Corser-Wallace. What did you think of Doctor Who? I'm really enjoying them. Yes, we've had quite a few comments about Doctor Who. We are loving them. There's a very different feel to this series. My youngest daughter Phoebe is not so keen, but my husband and I and my oldest daughter Lilia, we're loving them. They're very, we were talking about this the other day, they feel very comic book, quite old school comic book style, and each sort of individual episode seems to follow its own story, although there is a bit of a thread running through, I think, about the mystery of the existence of Ruby Sunday, who's the companion. But I think, yeah, love the new Doctor, love the new feel of it, love how different it is. I think it's good when, you know, it's been such a long running thing that I think when they change it up and do it slightly differently, it's always fun. And yeah, we're really enjoying it. Stephen R. Hi Ali, do you know how much you've raised so far for the charity yet? I have a rough idea. So this is in relation to my dodgy bag pins, which I was selling. They've all sold out now. Thank you to everyone that's asked. I have ordered some more. So I had ordered these dodgy bag pins to go along with the dodgy bag make along that I've spoken about quite a few times over this week. And the first batch that came were not what I wanted. They did not have the finish that was sold or expected. So the company that I work with to make the pins redid them, but they didn't want the dodgy bag pins back. So, and it felt wrong to sort of sell them for my own gain. So I put them on eBay because eBay give you an option to donate a certain percentage to a specific charity that's already set up on the site. So I chose the brain tumour charity because in memory of my dad, who died of a brain tumour in 2018. And so many of you that ordered pins, thank you everyone that's ordered them. Have shared your own stories of how you've been affected by brain cancer, and that has been really, really touching, so thank you. And so far, I did a little calculation this morning. I thought eBay would just show me as I went how much I was earning, and I'm not sure yet how it's even going to work because I just don't know. I think the money's all been put into my account, so I've just been keeping it in a separate bit, and I think we've raised from the sales minus all the fees about £470. There's a little bit extra to add on because some people decided to donate the postage costs, because I've been cross-checking everyone that's been ordering on both Etsy and eBay and refunding the postage costs on eBay if I can post them together. Some people decided to donate that, and I will mention you by name on the next podcast, and I will round it up as well. So let's say £500 so far in, less than 3 weeks? to raise for the brain tumour charity, and once I've donated that I'll be able to show a screenshot or I don't know, some kind of receipt or something to show how much we've raised, thanks to the viewers of this channel. So thank you for asking, because it made me go and have a look, because I had been wondering myself. Suzanne Brasky, love that you've done this week in vlogs. I look forward to having a little drop of wonderful to enjoy in the evening. Oh, thank you, Suzanne. I'm glad you're enjoying them. Do you know about a small yarn and fibre dyer in the US called Wonderland Yarns and Frabjous Fibres? Everything they do is Alice in Wonderland themed, from the yarn-based names to the colour names. Quite a nice rabbit hole to go down. I have not heard of them. I'm going to go and open up a tab and Wonderland Yarns and right, I have opened that up to have a little nose around later. Thank you for that recommendation, Suzanne. Beatrice Marie, are you taking an in-person ballet class or watching a ballet video? If a video, what is it? Just yesterday I first thought about watching a beginner ballet video and started to look at ballet bars for my house. I'm doing an in-person class, so I go every Tuesday morning to a class. It's run by well, the teacher was a ballet dancer, or is a ballet dancer. She's a ballet teacher, and she runs a ballet fitness class. So it's a mixture of actual ballet dancing, ballet moves, ballet positions, mixed with strengthening work like squats and abs, and, you know, a lot of legs to strengthen legs, and it's a lot about technique as well. I'm absolutely awful at it because I'm so uncoordinated, and ballet is a lot of coordinating arms and legs together, but I love it. And I'm sure she said right at the beginning that it is based and adapted from the New York City Ballet workout. So I went on eBay actually, I haven't used this yet, and I got for about £3, I was really lucky, both workouts 1 and 2 on DVD. It says, designed to help you develop the strength, grace and poise of a dancer, an excellent alternative to fast-paced, high-energy workout routines. This unique exercise program balances art, life and fitness into the perfect workout for any age or fitness level. Yeah, so I haven't tried that yet, and I've also got a few videos saved on YouTube that I haven't used yet as well, because I feel like I do want to do more in between classes in the week, especially to improve my coordination, so I don't look like a complete Wally in the bits where we have to go in groups across the hall doing a routine and I'm just literally at the back doing this. It's like being back at school. But it hasn't put me off. Yvonne, thank you. Great to see your mum. How do you care for the socks you make? Machine or hand wash, and do you block them? Okay, so yes, I usually block them just because I show them on the podcast. Otherwise I probably wouldn't, because I just wear them, and that's blocking enough, isn't it? But because I show them on the podcast, I give them a soak and I put them on my sock blockers, and then I can show them to their best advantage before they go into daily wear. And I wash them. Initially, I usually wash them by hand for the first couple of washes, and that's just to make sure that any dye leakage has gone. And then after that, I put them on a wool wash or a delicate wash in the machine, and just make sure I hang them up really well, nice and flat, and position them well when I hang them up to dry. And that's how I care for them. I use superwash, all of my sock yarn is superwash merino nylon, so they can take a bit of washing. Christina Marmaras. Hi Ali, love your channel. Thank you, Christina. What's the pattern name and designer of the socks you're making on the day one vlog? Okay, so that would be, it's linked in the description of the video. It's the Ada socks, and it's by Caroline Corley, and I will try to remember to put that under this video as well. Debbie Stuckey, hi Debbie. Do you guys put Mia out and tell her to go home before you go to bed? So Mia is the cat that spends a lot of her time here. She's next door's cat, she lives on that side. They're fully aware that she comes here. She just comes here to sleep. They've got a dog. I think she just feels more relaxed sleeping here. She likes being around people. So she's at the moment asleep on the ottoman at the end of our bed, because Dan works there. That's her place at the moment. Sometimes she decides to sleep on Phoebe's bed. Sometimes she's on the sofa downstairs. It seems to change all the time. She spends more time outside during the summer as well. But yes, she's often here in the evening after she's been home for her food, and she'll just sit with us whilst we're watching telly. But we can't let her roam around the house. She's not our cat. But we do have a cat flap in the kitchen from the previous owners. So we've got that locked on out only. So no one can let themselves in. No feline can let themselves in, but Mia can let herself out. So every night when we go to bed, we pop her in the kitchen, we shut the door, and she either has a little extra snooze, but 9 times out of 10, she just goes straight out the cat flap and goes and does what cats do in the night or goes home. Kathy Newkirk, I love your dodgy bag pins. Would you ever consider stocking dodgy bag tags that we can sew onto our bags? Absolutely. Yes, that is something I'm already looking into. There's a couple of products that I'm wanting to do. One is sew-in tags, but I wanted them to be like a faux leather, like something quite sturdy, not just fabric. Although fabric ones would be good as well, wouldn't they? So yes, I am absolutely considering doing that. And another thing that I want to do is a needle minder, a magnetic needle minder. So I'm working on altering my little drop design to make a needle minder, but that is a whole other thing that I can't get my head around. And as usual, it's time. But yes, definitely, it's a great idea, and thank you for asking. Sally Clark. Ballet is such great exercise, can't wait to see more. Yes, I am discovering this. Yeah, it's really, really good and enjoyable. I am curious to know if you have always knitted the continental way. If not, what made you change and how did you learn? I am a crocheter who can knit a bit. No problem with tension either. I'm trying to learn continental but struggling with holding the yarn tension, and I'm finding it really frustrating. So I was originally a crocheter before I was a knitter. So it made sense for me when I started knitting to knit continental, because you hold the yarn in your left hand and you use the needle to grab the yarn with your right hand, which is so similar to the motion of crochet. And that's why. So I've always been a continental knitter, and that's how I learned to do it. Although I learned that way because it was just the natural way for me to hold the yarn. And I just tension it in exactly the same way that I would if I was holding it for crochet. I experimented with lots of different ways of purling, but now I don't even think about it. Like purling continental style to me is exactly this. I could purl for the same amount of time as I would do a knit stitch. It just suddenly clicked. So I can't really offer any advice. Maybe I could make a video about how I knit. I don't know if that would help, just to show you how I hold the yarn and what I do. Just do it slowly. If that would help, let me know and I'll do that. Or maybe I'll just do that today. I could do it. Oh, mind you, I've been yabbering on for so long, I might not have time. If I have time today, I will. If not, I'll do it in the future or on a future podcast. But thank you for asking. Diane Johns, what needles? Thank you for another lovely podcast. Your blue socks are wonderful. Might have to have a go. What needles do you use for socks, please? I use DPNs. Where's my sock project? Here it is. I use DPNs. I have knit socks in every possible way until I have found my favourite. So when I first started knitting socks, I learned using the Winwick Mum Sock Along tutorials on her blog, and that is done using short circulars, 9-inch short circulars. So you just knit round and round and round, and then you have to finagle them a bit when you do the heel. Then I switched to Magic Loop, where you knit on a long cabled needle with half the stitches on the front needle and half the stitches on the back needle, and then you pull the cable through each time you go round. And then I tried DPNs and never looked back. I love them. It took me a little bit of a practice to get used to them, but now I knit with 4 DPNs. So I hold 1 to knit with, and then my stitches are on 3. You can also do it with 5. So your stitches are in 4 and you knit with 1. And yeah, I love them. These ones are Knit Pro Zings, but I really love the Knit Pro Cubics as well. But my cubics are in use on another project. And yeah, I would recommend Very Pink Knits for good tutorials. Earth Tones Girl has some great tutorials. Craft House Magic. Lots of YouTube tutorials out there for how to knit with DPNs. And my top tip would be, if you're starting out with DPNs and you're doing top-down socks, knit the first couple of rows straight. So just knit all of your stitches on 1 needle, and then knit the second row back. So, you know, knit 2, purl 2, knit 2, purl 2 all the way back. So you've got the first 2 rows of the rib, and then join it in the round after you've got those first two. It makes it a lot easier, and then all you've got is a tiny gap at the top which you can easily use your starting yarn to sew up. And I think that is all the questions I have got from the daily vlog, so I hope that answered some of them. I will go and try to reply to those comments at some point this week as well. Thank you so much for interacting with my videos and asking questions and wanting to know things. I love talking about all things knitting, crochet, yarn and crafty, so thanks for giving me the excuse. And I've already been talking now forever. My mum's going to be here any second, so I'm going to go and get my bag ready. We are off on a delayed, I don't think I said this, we're off on a delayed birthday trip this morning. She wanted to buy me some kind of accessory towards my walking journey. So we're heading over the River Thames, over the bridge to Lakeside, where there's a couple of outdoorsy shops. We're going to have a look around there, and we're going to maybe get some tea and cake, or maybe a bit of lunch. Yeah, that's the plan. So I will see you when I'm next making something. Got you with your sunglasses on. I'm back home after a lovely time with my mum. We've been out all morning. It's now about 2:15. We went out, we did some shopping. We had a cup of tea and a croissant. Well, I had a croissant, my mum didn't. And then we did a bit more shopping, and then we went to a garden centre, and then we had some lunch. I've now got to pass up some orders. I've got about an hour or so before Phoebe gets home from school. Not that that makes any difference. I'm not really required anymore when she gets home from school. But I think I'm going to spend an hour just getting some orders parcelled up. The last of the orders before I sold out of my pins. So they're all ready to go, and I can drop those off at the post box maybe later today. I might walk down there actually later this afternoon before the last collection. Yeah, I'm going to do that. Right. Oh, sorry. Extreme close up there. I have parcelled up all my orders. Thank you very much if you ordered anything from my Etsy shop. Did the labels, put them in my rucksack, walked to the post box and back, and got just under 4 mile walking. And now I'm back, and we've got half an hour before we need to go to a meeting at the school. Phoebe's going on a school trip, and it's about that at the end of June. So I'm going to sit here for the next half hour before we have to go and see how many hexagons I can crochet in that time. I'm going to put my audiobook on, actually, and then do that. Wait, oh no, do you know what? I don't think I've turned my my walking app off. Oops. Yeah, it now thinks I've been doing an average speed of 2 miles an hour. It thinks I've done 4 miles in an hour and a half. Right, oh well. It's not the time that matters when I write it down. It's the distance. It all adds up to my 1,000 miles. Right, no, not right. I'll tell you what, I'll stop talking to you, and then I can stop doing 25 things at the same time. I'm going to put my audiobook on, and I will come back to you in just under half an hour now and let you know how many hexagons I have crocheted in that time. Squeezing in hexagon making. Three and a bit, and now we have to go. It's about 9:15. I've just put the finishing touches to that unfinished hexagon you saw me making earlier. I'm just popping in to say a very quick goodbye because I've just been editing this vlog and it's long enough already. So I'm just going to say that since I started making the hexagons yesterday, I've made 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of this lovely salmony pink colour. I've made 1, 2, 3, 4 and a little bit of this lovely pastel-y colour. I have made 3 of this lovely variegated, and I've got enough left here for another 2. And I have made 4 of the variegated green, and I've got another, at least enough here for another one. And that's going to be my job for tonight. And thank you so much for watching this week of making vlogs. I hope you've enjoyed them. Thank you so much for coming along with me and for your comments. Let me know if you'd like to see a little bit of a 2 or 3 day streak of daily vlogs again, or a week of daily vlogs. And I will be back very soon with some very exciting videos that I'll be making over the coming days, and obviously a brand new podcast, full-length podcast, catching you up on everything I've been doing over May and June, and that will be at the very beginning of July. So thanks so much for watching, and I will see you very soon. Until then, happy knitting, happy crocheting, bye.